Creating podcasts with Audacity. In this video tutorial, you will learn the definition of a podcast, listening devices, required items for creating a podcast, downloading Audacity and the MP3 encoder, introduction and getting started with Audacity, and 10 great ways to use Audacity with your students. What exactly is a podcast? The word podcast is a play on the word broadcast combined with the word iPod, one of the most popular portable MP3 players. However, Apple did not invent the word podcast. Additionally, you do not need to have an iPod to listen to podcasts, and most any MP3 player can play a podcast. Once the podcast is downloaded, it is just an MP3. Anyone can create a podcast. All over the world, people are creating podcasts on subjects ranging from movies, to technology, to music, to politics, and whatever else you can think of. This tutorial is focused on how to create podcasts or other audio files, as well as ideas to enhance your curriculum and for student use. In other words, educational podcast. Required items for creating a podcast. For this tutorial, we will be using Audacity to create podcasts. For the most basic podcast, all the user needs is a computer and a microphone. Once the recording is complete, it can be saved or uploaded. The most popular podcast recording software is Audacity. It is completely free and offers many features commonly found on high-end recording applications. It can record, edit, and mix tracks, as well as insert sound effects and background music. Once the project is complete, Audacity can also mix it down to an MP3 using an encoder, which needs to be downloaded separately. To download Audacity and the MP3 encoder, go to this website, www.audacity.sourceforge.net. Getting started with Audacity. This is what Audacity looks like when you first open the program. The first step is to make sure that your recording device selector reads Microphone. Start recording by clicking the red button and a new soundtrack will appear on the screen. It will look like this. Click on the Stop button when you are done recording. Notice the sound waves as you are recording. Once you are done recording, you can edit the sound file. You can click and drag across any part of the sound file to edit. To delete a section, you can do it a few ways. You can use the Edit menu to select Cut, or you can simply hit the Delete button on the keyboard. Finally, you can use the Cut button in the middle of the toolbar, which has a picture of scissors on it. To save the project, use the File menu and choose Save Project. Downloading the MP3 encoder. Remember, you must use an MP3 encoder to export MP3 files with Audacity. You must have downloaded the LAME MP3 encoder, and if you haven't done so, you can download it by going to this URL, www.lame.buonzo.com.ar. Once you have downloaded and installed the MP3 encoder, you may now export your audio as a MP3. Audacity in the classroom. Students can perform a variety of speaking tasks and use the aforementioned tools to record and edit their performance. Students can use Audacity to record any number of different types of speaking assignments and hand them in to their teachers via email or other district alternatives. Here are 10 great ways you can use Audacity with your students. Record soundtracks for animations, promote language learning, create podcasts, record speeches, promote reading development, create sound stories, record sound for PowerPoint slides to enhance presentations, record comments and/or opinions, record compositions, record performing arts rehearsals and/or performances. One step further, and additional Audacity help. If you are interested in taking your podcast a step further, here is a link to free, royalty-free music and sound effects for both students and teachers to use in your audio projects. Go to www.partnersinrhyme.com. If you are in need of additional Audacity tutorials and Audacity help, go to www.audacity.sourceforge.net/help. Once your podcast is complete, it can be uploaded to Home Access Center for blended learning or flipping the classroom approaches, as well as for your students to access.